In the rolling green hills of Ireland, shrouded by mist and legend, stands a monument that defies time itself. Older than Stonehenge, predating even the mighty pyramids of Egypt, Newgrange is a silent giant, its grassy mound concealing secrets that have puzzled and astonished generations of archaeologists, historians, and scientists. Yet, its story is not merely one of age. It is a story of impossible precision, of astronomical mastery, and of a lost civilization whose knowledge seems to reach far beyond what we once believed the Stone Age could achieve. More than 5,000 years ago, before the Bronze Age dawned and centuries before the written word reached these shores, an ancient people began to shape a vision out of earth and stone. They gathered over 200,000 tons of rock, some weighing more than 40 tons, heavier than the trucks that rumble across modern highways. These stones traveled up to 75 kilometers, hauled without the wheel, without draft animals, and without metal tools. How they accomplished this feat remains a riddle. But the true marvel lies not just in the movement of stone, but in the mind that directed it. Newgrange is a colossal mound, 85 meters in diameter and 13 meters high, its outer face gleaming with dazzling white quartz. But the wonder of Newgrange is not in what is seen, but in what it does. Once every year, for exactly 17 minutes, the monument becomes a living calendar, a cosmic timepiece marking the rebirth of the sun. On the morning of the winter solstice, the darkest day of the year, a single shaft of sunlight pierces a carefully constructed opening above the entrance, the roof box. This beam travels down a perfectly aligned passage 19 meters long and illuminates the ancient burial chamber at the heart of Newgrange. This event is not a trick of chance or a happy accident. It is a demonstration of knowledge so advanced, so mathematically precise, that it challenges the very narrative of human progress. For the builders of Newgrange understood not just the rising and setting of the sun, but the subtle arc it traces across the sky, the tilt of the earth, and the exact moment the longest night gives way to the returning light. The roof box had to be set at an exact height and angle, the passageway aligned within a fraction of a degree, and the chamber constructed with the patience and perfection of master engineers. Pause and imagine the calculations required. No telescopes, no compasses, no written equations, just careful observation, relentless trial and error, and a body of inherited knowledge passed down through generations. The sun's journey had to be tracked over decades, if not centuries, to align stones that would capture its rays at the precise moment of the winter solstice. The people who built Newgrange were not primitive. They were astronomers, mathematicians, and engineers of the highest order. Yet the mystery does not end with the solstice. The inner chamber of Newgrange, where the sacred light falls, is a marvel of waterproof stonework. Using a technique known as corbelling, the builders stacked each stone slightly closer to the center than the one below, forming a dome that has kept the interior dry for 5 millennia. No mortar holds these stones together, only gravity, geometry, and the sure hands of unknown craftsmen. Modern engineers have marveled at this achievement. Few ancient structures can claim such endurance, especially in Ireland's famously wet climate. Upon the stones themselves, a silent language is written. Spirals, diamonds, zigzags, and lozenges cover curbstones and passageways, the oldest known art in Western Europe. These petroglyphs are not mere decoration. Some researchers believe they encode cycles of the sun and moon, the turning of the seasons, or the path of the stars. Others see in them a lost symbolic language, a way of seeing the world that we have only begun to decipher. Each groove and swirl may represent an ancient equation, a ritual, or a story, meanings locked within stone, waiting for those patient enough to listen. What does Newgrange tell us about its makers? It tells us that the Neolithic people of Ireland were not scattered bands of hunters eking out an existence in a harsh world. They were organized with the ability to feed, house, and direct hundreds of workers over decades. They had specialists, stonecutters, artists, astronomers, and planners. They had surplus crops, social hierarchies, and the foresight to invest in projects whose completion might not be seen within a single lifetime. In short, they possessed civilization's hallmarks thousands of years before the rise of classical Europe. For centuries, Newgrange slumbered beneath the soil, its true purpose forgotten. Rediscovered in 1699, it was mistaken for a mere burial mound. Only in 1967 did archaeologist Michael O'Kelly witness the solstice sunrise, revealing its ancient secret to the modern world. For over 250 years, the monument's genius had been hidden in plain sight, a cosmic clock ticking in the darkness, awaiting the return of the light. Today, the winter solstice at Newgrange is a coveted experience, with thousands entering a lottery for the chance to stand in the chamber as the ancient sunbeam returns. Only 50 can witness it each year, a reminder of how precious and how rare this connection to our distant ancestors truly is. The existence of Newgrange raises profound questions. How did a Neolithic society possess such advanced astronomical and engineering knowledge? What drove them to create a monument that would last for ages and light up for just 17 minutes each year? And what other wonders have we yet to discover, buried beneath the fields and forests of our world? Newgrange is not alone. Across the globe, ancient civilizations have left us clues, enigmatic artifacts, impossible architecture, and technologies that seem to leap across the boundaries of time. Each discovery peels back another layer of the past, revealing a human story far more complex and far more wondrous than we ever imagined. So the next time you hear of the glories of Stonehenge or the pyramids, remember Newgrange, a monument older, no less magnificent, and proof that the people of prehistory were not just surviving, but reaching for the stars. And if you think ancient astronomical mastery is astonishing, wait until you learn of Maya blue, a paint lost for centuries, whose chemical secrets kept it vibrant for over 1,000 years, confounding modern science until only recently. The mysteries of ancient technology are far from solved. In fact, they have only just begun.